Good evening, YouTube. I'm supposed to believe that Bill Maloney, Chris Fay, John Wedger, Brian Gerrish, Brian Harvey got Andrew Ash, a historic abuse survivor who first came forward in 1990 into a number of mainstream newspapers and on BBC Panorama. They were also courted and platformed by Tom Watson, MP, who was deputy leader of the Labour Party. Ben Fellows was charged with perverting the course of justice in regards to allegations he'd made against Ken Clarke, MP. Ben Fellows was found not guilty. On the walk that Ben Fellows did from Plymouth in Devon, the home of UK column and recent serial killing, on that walk he was accompanied by Malcolm Blackman, the self-proclaimed leader of UK Anonymous. He was charged with a very violent rape allegedly committed at Occupy St Paul's. Everyone believes John Wedger is a police officer without anybody seeing a scrap of evidence to support that. I'm supposed to believe that. Everybody just believes John Wedger's a police officer. I don't believe he's a police officer, and I am the only person, as far as I know, who's actually been shown his warrant card, which looked fake and not something that he was prepared to show for any length of time, so somebody could inspect it properly. The so-called police officer John Wedger, his best mate and bosom buddy in satanic ritual abuse, Wilfred Wong, has been convicted for a conspiratorial child kidnap carried out at knife point, with plans and preparations to traffic a young child abroad. Did the police pull in associates of Wilfred Wong to be questioned to find out what's going on with this group of people who seem to be above the law, are untouchable, and yet people around them seem to get themselves in an awful lot of trouble? Brian Harvey's had death threats. He's terrified to leave his house, and he gets harassed and stalked for 8 years. Has many police visits, gets arrested a number of times. He's also lied about why he got involved with Bill Maloney in the first place. Brian Harvey doesn't have to answer this question. He's lied. I've shown you that he's lied. You should know that he's lied, and you should also know that it's quite important about why he got involved, seeing as Bill Maloney was offering amnesty for VIP paedophiles who exposed the rings they're working for. Bill Maloney, who categorically stated he was not sexually abused as a child, suddenly now remembers he was repeatedly abused while praying, and according to Sky News has received a compensatory payout for that abuse. Of course, the perverting the course of justice charges against Ben Fellows, he was found not guilty, and Malcolm Blackman was also found not guilty of a violent rape. Yeah, so kind of amazes me. Ben Fellows making allegations against Ken Clarke MP, gets arrested for perverting the course of justice. Serious offence. Chris Fay, Bill Maloney, Brian Harvey get historic abuse survivor Andrew Ash, who's making sexual abuse allegations against VIPs. A lot of important people. Nothing happens to any of them about that. Brian Harvey's not doing so well, apparently. Wilfred Wong kidnapping children at knife point. Conspiring and preparing to traffic that child to another country. A lot of serious offences. So it amazes me that for the Wilfred Wong thing, given his history and connection and close association with John Wedger, that John Wedger wasn't pulled in about that as well. I mean, John Wedger says that the police have it in for him. He was threatened by them. Of course, everybody believes that except me. I don't believe that for a second. But let's say John's telling the truth for once in his life, and he was threatened, and he was a police officer. This would have been a golden opportunity for the police, wouldn't it, to drag John Wedger in, finding out if he was part of the conspiracy to kidnap this child. Of course, that would have given the police the golden opportunity to play Wilfred Wong and John Wedger off against each other as well. They could have told John Wedger that Wilfred Wong had put his name up, put him in the frame, and they could have told Wilfred Wong that John Wedger put his name up and put him in the frame. But police don't do that sort of thing. Of course, it's quite odd to me that Brian Harvey wouldn't want to speak to somebody who was a witness to his set-up by MI5 in Parliament Square. Brian treats the whole thing like it's him that can do something for me. Anyway, he's never wanted to speak to me. If he had done, of course, I could have told him who Mark Manning is. Mark Manning and Zodiac Mind Warp are the same person. I've met Mark Manning. I spent maybe a week in his house. He very kindly gave me some tickets to an event where I met Damien Hirst. And then me and my friend went out with them as a group to a club. But I have talked before about how people like to steal narratives and stories, and then weave that into some bullshit, so that when the person whose story it is starts telling it, it sounds like bullshit. It's particularly hard to do when the story might sound like bullshit in the first place, but just adding that little extra touch, helps. Also, discrediting the person whose story it is helps. Ignoring them helps. To devalue their story. Anyway, thanks.